Hey car friends, I'm back in the heartland of Denmark visiting Viborg and the factory of JP Group. Obviously this company is the activities are centered around servicing the air-cooled Porsche era, but time never stands still and money never sleeps. And obviously this company is also gravitating into the more modern cars. So 996 and 997s and now recently 991 products are being produced here at the factory. And today I have the fortune of visiting Torben's office, and we're going to look at a couple of mufflers for a 997 and talk about production. So join me and dive into the engineering of these parts, and stick around, you might learn something. Hey Torben, how are you doing?
Hi Mads, very good. Thanks
it's always
for coming
good
today.
to be back. Yeah, thanks for having me. You set up a little exposition here of muffler systems for your 997.
Correct.
Yeah.
996 actually.
996
this one.
These are.
But you are right, they are very similar, 996 and 997 in the exhaust configuration. Well, obviously we have an air-cooled background. The muffler for the air-cooled 911 has a very particular shape that dominated the design for many, many years. When Porsche moved into the water-cooled with the first 996 model, back in 97, 98, they introduced a revised exhaust system. And what you see on the table here is a little bit to explain some of the differences that are out there today. First and foremost, to the left side here is the Dansk Motorsport version made in accordance with the factory specifications from Porsche. So it's with the pressed half shell design like the stock version. In the middle you see a Dansk Motorsport competitive version here, made in its oval shape that we know from the Porsche 993. That was actually the stock system of the Porsche 993, the last air-cooled version. And to the right side is a product where I'm unaware of the manufacturing, but it's a cheaper, price-wise cheaper version that is offered in the market. So what we would like to do today is just briefly go through the pros and the cons of the different systems.
Comparison.
This
is motor journalism in its most undiluted and honest form. So I obviously love it to have products on the table and look at materials and productions.
There is, Mads, an old Swedish saying that there is hardly anything in this world that can't be made a little bit cheaper and price can be squeezed a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the one who only looks to the price is a legal victim.
Yeah.
And that's sort of our approach to doing high quality exhaust system. That the joy of saving a little bit slowly but securely fades away when you start experiencing a problem with the product you have bought.
When it falls off.
Yeah. So let's start on some of the specifics. You will see first and foremost on the inlet side.
I mean, this is on the right-hand side. This is a crappy product you bought on Temu or whatever, and and obviously you in your position can't really badmouth it, but I can. So we have this lousy example as a comparison to highlight our own products.
Well, start by the size of it, Mads. So to get a decent exhaust, you also need a certain volume for the flow. But there are a few facts that I would like to highlight. If you look into the color of this version here, you see it's hollow. Whereas if you look into the color of the Dansk version, it's solid. What does that mean? It actually means that when you add the V-clamp to fit the exhaust on the car, you have a solid backstop to the V-clamp. So you can tie it all up properly.
Get a tight fit.
Yeah, so you get a tight fit. You don't get something that rattles after a short while. The system needs to give a certain level of flexibility. That's why we add the bellow. like on the original system. Whereas if you have a solid pipe, you run the risk of having cracks.
Yeah, the vibrations is going to go somewhere and probably down there in the weld eventually.
Yeah. And speaking of vibrations, if you look at the bracketry, which is probably best seen from this side, if you look at the bracketry here to here to here, the bracketry is on all three of them in the right position, but adding the 90-degree bend to the bracket adds stability. Positioning them correctly around the body, so you have a safe and secure weld that attaches to the end baffle to the body itself, rather than a 90-degree angle. That's what we focus at, because this type of design adds stability to the system.
And stability directly translates to durability in this world on a part like this.
It does. And when you then look at the different shapes, there is a reason why we at Dansk also make this version. You clearly see the structures of the baffle. So this is two half shells welded together. The way the baffle is profiled adds stability to the system. So in that mid-range area of 2, 3, 4,000 RPM, top down on your convertible, you want to be able to also have a conversation with your passenger, right? Mm-hmm. So you avoid the droning in that mid-range of RPM by having a very stable system where these will both suffer a little bit from the vibration of one big plate coming around the exhaust system. So here you really get the value for your money. And last but not least, on those two, you see if you film on this one, the TÜV approval is stamped into the body, because the two Dansk versions are approved by German TÜV, so they are legal for street driving.
That, of course, matters a lot in a market where it matters a lot. And damn you if you buy a product that's illegal in your local market. So, yeah. And TÜV, the German TÜV Institute, is like the top standard, you could say. If you apply to them, you apply to everybody.
It is the top standard. And there will be markets that do not require TÜV approval, but many markets lean upon the German approach and the TÜV approval. If we move to the other table, there is one more factor of the stability on both of the Dansk systems. You see on the table here, you see the double skin, double layer plate. And we've cut out a pressed version here as well, where you will see the double skin. So again, the eye does not catch many of the details in our system, but we truly rely on the factory specs in re-engineering the systems, so you get a durable, long-year system on your car.
I mean, visually, these products are not the most sexy ones because they're hidden on the car behind plastic, so you never really see them. But obviously, they have different functions, and the dual sheet gives longevity and durability and another set of vibration, and maybe also another sound.
It is adding to the sound. That is absolutely correct. But the prime focus here is durability.
It looks a little bit like a kitchen machine when it's disassembled like this.
Yeah.
What do you run on your car, Torben? Because you're a rolling test application.
I'm a rolling test application on 997. I obviously run the Dansk pressed version to get that right feel and that right sound. But you mentioned just before, Mads, that on a water-cooled 911 exhaust system is hidden, mostly. What we do see is the tailpipe. So we just added a small selection of tailpipes, really just to get a flavor of what the options are. So the first one here is a stock unit. In that same design, you get an oversized alternative. And what you see here with adjustable tip.
You can move the length.
To fit it nicely to the bumper. Behind here, you see two turbo slash 4S versions that you can add to your 997 and get that prime look regardless of the engine version you run. All of them are, as you see, with the same color, adding right onto the stock system.
None of these products add power, or they probably don't have any influence on the sound either. It's entirely visual.
This is primarily visual, absolutely right. Behind us is also a set for the 997. Looks standard Carrera. Yeah. So all in all, our mission here is to explain what your options are when you run a 996, 997, and 991. There will always be a market for the lowest price. We know that. But what is important in our view is that you make your choice with open eyes, knowing what your options are. So hopefully this has given just a little bit of insight into to the options and the choices that you can make for your 996, 997.
But these products have a fairly long life cycle, but if you have a 996 or a 997 and you have run 150,000 kilometers, they're going to run out of time, they're going to wear out, and you're going to need a new one. So for you as a business opportunity and a product, this is an upcoming market. You're going to sell a lot of these over the next coming years.
Well, study the numbers that Porsche has made of those models, ramping up production since the mid-60s. So there is an enormous number of 996, 997, 991s out there. Some are delivered from factory with a sport exhaust. When that wears out, we can replace it. Some are delivered with a stock exhaust, standard muffler exhaust set. And here's the upgrade if you want to go for a sport muffler.
Let's go look at your car.
Will do.
Tom, you're the kind of doctor who takes his own medicine.
Yes.
Because behind me is your car, and today we're going to speak about muffler systems for the 996, 997, and also soon to be 991s. And
yes.
This is your car.
It is. So
you're a Porsche guy at heart. This is your daily driver.
This is my 997. It's Mark II from 2009, and you'll have to apologize the dirt and everything else that comes with it.
Black cars are always dirty.
But cars are here to be driven, right?
Good point.
So this car is fitted with our own, obviously, Dansk Motorsport sound systems. So it's the valve-controlled system. And on a sunny day like today, what else can we do but run the 997?
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Will do. That's what it sounds like.
Hey car friends, thank you for watching JP Group Club. This is our new YouTube channel. It's obviously sponsored by JP Group, and we're aiming to tickle you in all the right places with information and entertainment pertaining air-cooled cars from primarily Porsche and Volkswagen. Stay tuned, and we're going to take you through production. We're going to test products at the workshop. We're going to take you to interesting places, drive fascinating cars, and meet relevant people. Help me get this show on the road. Press the subscribe button and like and whatever you can. Share it with your friends, and we're going to make it fly. Thanks a lot for watching.